strike. Yeah. You guys feel old, Peter Frampton? He was an odd bird.
50 years ago.
Goodness me.
So that puts Kiss Alive about the same age.
Yeah.
Live at the Boudica?
So.
With Cheap Trick?
Yeah, Cheap Trick.
Probably about the same age, too, huh?
Maybe a couple years younger.
Maybe.
But not by much.
That's a good album, too.
There was that weird period in the 70s where you could actually kick off a career with a live album because Kiss couldn't get arrested at radio or record sales until Alive came out. And that was the same thing with Frampton, too. He wasn't selling crap. And then these live albums come out and it's like, boom.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, he was a bit of an odd bird. Huh? A little experimental. Old Frampton. Next thing you know, boom. There's another one of those things where that version of going viral back in the day where your album sells 11 million and you can't go anywhere. So that whole thing with Trump and, they're going to impeach me. First of all, the Democrats have said we don't want to impeach him. They don't want any part of it because they don't want to turn him into any more of a martyr. I think they don't want to. But did you see what else he said, Ken? Here, he said, the fake news would call me a dictator. He said, they have the worst policies, talking about the Democrats, and he's talking about how everything was rigged. Nobody's worse than Obama and Biden. And then he went on to say how we have to even run against these people. Now, I won't say cancel the elections, but they should cancel the election. Because the fake news, though, would say then the elections were canceled because he's a dictator.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And so the United States Postal Service, and this will affect you if you have bills, by the way, and if you vote by mail. Are you ready for this? They no longer, so if you go and you drop off your thing, it used to be, when it was stamped.
Yeah.
No. Doesn't count that way anymore.
Yeah, Ken and I were talking about this last week, and my question was, what happens with your tax returns if you're dropping them off at midnight?
Sorry, doesn't matter. It's when they process it. And when it comes, so they're going to be able to decide essentially in the back end who gets to get counted potentially, whose bills are late, whose your tax returns, all of that stuff.
Man,
that's a little scary.
That's a lot scary. They changed that law. So if you vote by mail, could you imagine if they say, well, you could have dropped it off a week earlier. They say, well, we didn't get it till after the election. Sorry about that. That's not a good thing. No. If your taxes, you drop, no, I did. Because it used to be everybody go, oh my God, I forgot it's tax day. And then everybody would rush and you'd see the
lines at
the now it doesn't matter.
And there'd be somebody out there taking them and stamping them as they were accepting them.
Are they going to do that anymore? Are they going to say, well, it's different because now it has to come through us, the process, not the person stamping them.
And if you file late, you can be fined.
Yeah. So that's a scary thing. And it feels like, the fact that we even joke about canceling the elections is he was, and I know it was, he was just taken out of context.
Oh, he's trolling
he is trolling, but look, today they lost another one, which had nothing to do with the retirement, all to do with the super retirement, if you will, with the California guy who was, probably potentially had a chance of being redistricted anyways, dying. And so you're down to 3 now.
2.
2, that's right.
2 vote majority.
That's it. 2 vote majority. So you're going to struggle with Massey.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you have crazy stuff out there. And you've got a couple other ones, too, that, Marjorie's gone, so there's that. So you're lucky about that at this point in time.
Yeah, because she would definitely be a no now.
Yeah.
And that's the governor appoints a replacement until the special.
Until either a special election or another election.
And they've got a Republican governor, correct?
Yeah. And you're never. I can't even ever remember if they're appointing, even if Gavin Newsom will appoint a Republican. They're not going to go and do that.
Yeah, by law, don't they have to do that? Or do they not?
I think it might be, maybe it's state by state, you would think. Could you imagine? Okay, here's something. Let's say something like that unfortunately happens here or Texas, really, or Florida, where Trump has the sway, where he could be like, if a Democrat died, you better report a Republican. You know what I mean? Could you imagine that? Because if the people spoke, you got to think about, and if you're a hardcore Republican, then this would never happen. But if you're an independent, and that's where you have to look always, guys, look at the independent numbers. Those are the things that matter. And how mad they would be. But yeah, this is he's worried. I don't think they're not going to impeach him because they just don't want, it's just too much, right? It's that because what you do is you turn him into the anti-hero. And it's what we're seeing here. Colombia, Petro, their president, completely unliked in Colombia. What has happened? People are rallying around him because he and Trump are fighting. Not because they like him, but because they feel like, we better all, close ranks here as a nation. They don't want the same thing where you're going to strengthen Trump if you're a Democrat.
Well, plus if they take over the House, that'll be enough for them to block his agenda entirely, and they won't need to. They'll wait him out for 2 years. They won't need to impeach him.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, well, especially if you can because here's the thing, you can make his life a lot more hell through investigations. How does his family enrich himself? Have you guys heard that story before?
Yeah. It'll just be it'll be another 2 years of executive orders.
Yes, yeah, and they won't be able to get anything through. I think, and I don't know. I've seen a lot of them say they're not going to whatever happens in this because we're already talking about another shutdown. Because what do we have till the 30th of this month, right? And then it's shutdown time.
Yeah.
And
Schumer said on Sunday they will not shut the government down.
Yeah, I was wondering if why. I was wondering if they would filibuster, if they would break the filibuster. I think Trump would push them to break the filibuster for real this time. And I think they would probably do it. But
Just go nuke.
Man.
Which is going to bite them in the ass in the future, just like it did Harry Reid.
Wild, and we're going to go from one side to the other, which is something I don't want. I don't think, most normal people aren't looking for wild swings from uber left to uber right. But I've heard they said that they don't want to shut the government down. I think they want to I think that the big thing is they think let the Republicans sit with what it is that they've brought here and see if this works out for the American people and let them decide. Because I think they feel like if we just don't do anything, we're going to win 30 or 40 seats and have a very big majority in the House. Maybe not the Senate, but enough to make it that it's, you turn it straight into a real lame duck situation. Lame duck. Venezuela, anything going on there? We still got that Maduro character? Yeah, okay. He's not going anywhere. I said it yesterday, I'm waiting for him and Trump to have the conversation in some point and form through their mediaries that, hey, if you would like a reduced sentence and the opportunity maybe to see the light of day and see your wife who you spent every day for the last 30 years with, maybe, just maybe, you should think about telling everybody how you stole the 2020 election from me. Because how we got to Venezuela, man, some of those conspiracy theories were just so wacky. And this January 6th, one of the most somber days of somber days. We haven't gone into Colombia, and we still, from what I understand, haven't taken Greenland, although I just think all we have to do is kind of announce it, and then it'll happen. It's ours.
Just send a Carnival cruise over there.
Oh, yeah. Just could you see that with Charo?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. How funny would that be? That would be so funny. The whole thing, watching Stephen Miller fight yesterday over Green. Why are we fighting over Green? Well, we need it. Why do we need it? We have it. They're part of NATO, the Danes. So what do we need it for? What's the big thought process of that? I can't think of it.
Anything related to security that you wanted to do in Greenland could probably be negotiated with the Greenland and the Dutch, and it would go through.
Yeah. The Danes would be like, yeah, that's fine. I mean, we're all on the same team now because they're part of NATO. Remember the whole thing about getting further away from NATO was Russia's thing. That's what they wanted. And then when they did what they did, Ukraine, Sweden, and Norway, and everybody started, the Finns, and everybody's like, we should all join, Denmark. We should all join NATO now, just out of the fear of that we share borders with these people. So, how does Kylie? We're going to find out what Kylie feels. Man, Kylie's got some stuff. Woo! I've got so much stuff because we haven't had White Woman Wednesday in a while. I've got so much stuff from Kylie. It's insane.
Well, just think about how much she's probably experienced over the holidays.
Oh, God. How many times there's been racism in front of her face? How many times MAGA's attacked her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Chocolate bars are upsetting her now.
Oh, yeah. Did you see
White
that?
chocolate bars are upsetting her now.
That chocolate bar thing was horrible, but it's very. We're going to do it tomorrow, but it is. She is so upset about it because there's like 2.5 million likes on it.
Yeah.
So it's because that White Woman Wednesday. I tell you what, you ladies know who you are. It's crazy. Somebody says we want to strip mine. We want to strip mine Greenland. I'm sure it's got all kinds of stuff. Chinese and Russians are already in Greenland.
Strip club Greenland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but there's some hotties out there, huh? Oh. There's 30,000 people that live there. First of all, you're a hardy human being if you live in one of those places.
Yeah, because it ain't green.
No. 30,000 people. And I saw a guy going, hey, America, come on over here and bring your great education system. We can talk about, nope, don't do that. And this guy started, you guys can bring more drive-throughs, McDonald's. Nope, don't do that. He's just, because they're not, it's weird because you got to be sitting there going, why are we the focus of America? We're Greenland. Most people can't find Greenland on a map. It's a flat map because the earth is flat.
And you've never, ever heard another politician talking about the importance and significance of Greenland to America's strategic security.
Strategery.
Yeah.
Strategery. Man, I tell you what, strategery right there is going to be good. So it's going to be interesting. This year is going to be very interesting to see how this thing unfolds because the economy, obviously, still number one. I mean, it's absolutely number one still and will always be number one. If the economy, I think they're waiting. I've yet to hear their plan about health care.
Yeah.
I mean, there is nothing. They met today. They still had no plan. They're like,
he just said we got to come up with something different because Obamacare sucks.
Yeah, that's not a plan. That's a statement. So what's your plan? Because guess what? People got their bills. And I've heard from several of you who've talked about how your payment a month went from $400 to $800 or $400 to $1,200, or some of you went up to $2,000. You're like, we're going to see what happens.
I think, was it Thune or was it Johnson? They were floating the idea of health savings accounts.
Yeah, they keep saying, well, we want to give the money to the people. The thing is, giving the money to the people, you're not allowed to use health savings account to purchase insurance. So what do you do with it? I mean, you can pay down. You still have to buy insurance. So you're giving me money. I'm paying down some of my deductible maybe, but you're not. It's like giving somebody money for, you can't buy gas and you can't make the car payment, but here's some money or insurance, but here's some money for your car.
Yeah.
Get some oil changed.
Yeah, get your oil changed. Buy one of those things to make your car smell nice.
Yeah, but that large screen TV looks so much more fun.
No, that large screen TV is awesome. We're going to talk about CES coming up in a little bit. So this guy that was out there yesterday, he got to try some stuff. And and some of you have already talked about the sex dolls. They're called companion dolls, all right? I've already been
dolls?
Because they're companions, okay?
That's right. They're amigos.
Companions. Yeah, they're companions. We have an understanding. But there's some other stuff out there that's neat. One of the things, my buddy was out there, I'm going to try to get him to come on the show later on this week, said the thing that's been interesting is how affordable stuff is nowadays compared to you go a few years ago, you were 4 years away from looking at anything.
You're talking about starting prices?
Yeah. A lot of these things are starting at the $1,000 mark, which is still expensive, but you know what it's not? $25,000, $150,000.
Yeah, I remember when plasma TVs first came out, they were like $22,000 for a 30-inch.
Yeah, but the technology has moved in such a way now that, and robots are all the rage. All the rage right now. And Boston Dynamic, they had their robot out yesterday that is creepy and amazing, and it's ex machina. Very much so.
Does it look human?
No, it looks like one of those robots, but you kind of do want to put a human face on it.
Oh.
But it spins in three. It's a
You
droid.
can trip it and it'll stand back up.
Yeah. Like it's one of those things where it'll stand back up and then it'll spin its body around and give you that evil eye where you're like, oh, it's going to snap my head. I could already tell. Mhm. We got a hot take coming up here in a little bit. We got some CES as well. If you missed any show, shame, grab the podcast. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
Shame.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yeah. Or apparently there's no elections. That was just so weird what he said. You know, they would say I'm a dictator if I canceled the election, so can't do that. Would you want to cancel the elections if they didn't say that?
He doesn't even have the authority to do that.
I know. And I have to be honest with you. If you cancel the elections, you're a dictator. What else are going to call you? King? No, I don't want to be a king.
No kings.
No kings. Here's an honest take before we get the hot take of Trump. Trump admires people like Xi and people who are dictators in a way where he doesn't want to take everybody's rights away. What he does want is nobody to mess with the things that he wants to do. That's what he wants. He likes that strong man kind of thing. That's why he looks and goes, oh, if only we only had the Republicans, then I can do whatever I want. Kind of thing. And, you know, I think most politicians would love only that to a certain extent, but they realize that it goes sideways after a while. And you can't have that because human beings can't be trusted. Hot take, hot take, hot take Tuesday. Hot take Tuesdays. It is the hot take time. We're going to start with young Ken in the background.
There is no such thing as too much cheese. If you think so, what you actually mean is you're afraid of joy.
Oh, yes. How can you have too much cheese?
You can't. In fact, I don't think you can ever have enough.
No. I agree. I mean, nobody goes, the cheese, especially like you were talking about Mexican food, if you don't have cheese with Mexican food, you are...
It's not Mexican food.
It's not Mexican. You're in the Midwest somewhere. Man, I was in Cleveland one time. My buddy goes, I'm going to take you to a Mexican restaurant. I'm like, this is going to be crap. Okay. First of all, I don't see any Mexicans around here, so I know how crap this is going to be. We went, it was like, here's some ketchup. Like, what? It's like French fries with you? Like, no, bring me chips and salsa. It wasn't even like cheesy salt. It was the worst thing I've ever eaten. And my good friend Joe, man, I tell you what, he would eat his burrito with ketchup. And I thought, man, I need to throw something at you. You were just awful.
Rub some jalapeno in his eye.
It hurts my tummy.
Hurts my tummy.
It hurts my tummy. You fool. What do you got for us? Speaking of hot Latinas.
Charo is talentless with the exception of the guitar. All she had was coochie coochie, and she brought the Love Boat down. She sank it from the inside. She killed the ratings. Too many appearances. Not funny.
She did. She killed it. She absolutely...
Poor Charo.
And she was on... What did you say? She how many episodes did she do of...
Oh, gosh.
Of, what was it?
The Tonight Show, she did 40 appearances with Johnny Carson.
Hollywood Squares.
45.
He was sleeping with her.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Hollywood Squares, 40 episodes. Then she had a recurring role as Aunt Charo during the 78-77 season of Chico and the Man. And let's see, 10 episodes on The Love Boat.
That's a lot. That's a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
Because how many episodes? Was it 100 episodes of Love Boat? She was on one in every 10 episodes, probably.
She was only on the Hollywood Squares because she was sleeping with Paul Lynde.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, all right.
Sure. For those of you guys don't know, he's not really the best. Doesn't like that team.
No, he did not.
But he was funny, so we're just loving him for that, all right? My hot take, shishi food. So people go and they spend this restaurant. It's like, this restaurant is so shishi. It takes months to get in, right? You know, they have these wacky names for these foodies called these gastro pubs and all this kind of. First of all, gastro makes you think of like gastroenteritis. Those places are selling you shishiness. The food is crap. They might as well. You want a big plate to drizzle stuff all over it, right? It's the same thing I say about art movies. They're only in one place because nobody wants to watch that crap. Just like nobody really, but you don't even understand, Chad. This is kale wrapped in other kale, wrapped in vegan bacon with one, Brussels sprout, and it's on a plate, and there's a flour next to it, and then they drizzled stuff, and then they charge you $150. I used to tell my wife, we're going to these places, I'm like, is this one of those places I have to eat before I go there?
I've done that.
We've all done that. Every man does. It's true. People bring their special dip that's very shishi to stuff, and what happens?
Special dip.
You ever see that? Like, I'm going to make they bring in all the stuff. It's very shishi. And then there's one side that has pizza and wings and nachos, and everybody's eating all that, and the rest of it's still just empty over here. Why? Because they sold you a dream of crap. Crap, I say. Churro's a national treasure. Oh, she's the South American Dolly Parton. I like that.
Please.
Oh, my Lord.
Dolly's got more talent in her little finger than Churro has in her boobs.
Ken Weaver, have you ever had the espresso cheese from Kroger?
The espresso cheese.
I have never even heard of that.
I have not, but I'll check it out.
It got coffee in it?
I don't. Well, oh, my God. Is that weird?
Espresso cheese?
That feels like it should have caffeine all over it, right?
I ate some cheese last night that had been in our refrigerator for 2 weeks.
And?
I didn't get sick.
Smelled like a dead foot.
That's the other thing about cheese, right? That's the weird thing about cheese. The French, they're like, oh, yes, I leave it outside for 8 days. It gets moldy. Then it smells like your crotch pot. And then, of course, you put it in your shoe for a week. And now I charge you $300.
I freaking love cheese, man.
Cheese, baby, cheese. All right, coming up. It's really cool, some of the neat stuff at CES and how affordable some of it is. So this guy has tested some of the stuff out. And I will tell you, it's pretty damn cool. Talk about that straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997. Ken, you were talking about your cheese in the fridge. Somebody says cheese never goes bad. It just gets more expensive. So true. That is so true. That's exactly it. It never goes bad. It just gets more expensive. Man, that's because I've, traveling through Europe, the stinkier the cheese, the more jingle jangle out of your pockets it's going to become. And I just don't know how people eat that stuff. I don't. I just, ugh. CES is going on, Consumer Electronics Show. And, we sit here and we talk, everybody talks about politics and stuff. Let me tell you something, why CES is important. Because the reality is the stuff that we're going to be using in the coming, months and years is going to have a bigger impact on your life. And there's a lot of stuff out there that is, I'm fascinated by the cost of stuff. Because normally when you go to these things, the numbers, it's a fantasy land. One of the cool things they have now is the new Legos. I don't know if you guys have seen these. These Legos are cool. So they're smart Legos. And you're going to be able to interact with your Legos, which is kind of weird, and play with them.
Lego Smart Play starts with a Lego Smart Brick. It's just a 2x4 Lego brick, except that it's packed with sensors and smarts. There's no screen inside. There's not even a power button on this thing. But the Lego Smart Brick responds to what kids do, generating reactions to their actions. It becomes an instrument for their play, and it unleashes their imagination. And
so the first ones that are coming about are all Star Wars stuff. So you're going to be able to play with these Legos, and the Legos, they can interact amongst themselves. This is stuff coming to life. My dream, the only dream I've ever had with Star Wars was I want that chess game where the little monsters fight each other.
Bingo.
Isn't it? I mean, that's the only thing I wanted.
And I want those little monsters.
Yeah, I want them to, like where my guy moves, and then the centipede guy comes over, and then here comes the Cyclops, and he throws him.
Picks him up and throws him down.
I want that. That would be cool.
Oh, man. If you could have like little dinosaurs that actually fight each other.
Oh, like our direwolves. Those guys are probably working on it. I'm telling you. Here's some other stuff. So this guy's here. This guy that I follow, he's out and about checking all these things out. The first thing he gets are these new VR, they're glasses. And you're wearing a computer, and unlike all the other ones, it's not stupid looking.
These are the Inmo Air 3 brand new AR glasses. as I look at them, you can see these waveguides right in the lenses. And let's put these on and see how they feel. Pretty comfortable immediately. You feel there's a little bit of extra weight right here, but when I look at this, it is pretty clear, pretty bright. Comes with this little mouse that you can click on here. So I'm looking at you, but I'm also looking at this screen. And the black background actually helps me here to kind of look at what I'm trying to click on. But I can look at photos, and I see photos right in front of me, but I also see you in the camera.
And you can see it all right there. And I've seen some of the demo ones. These things, they're only like $1,000, right? And they're going to come down. They're going to fall precipitously over the next several months. But it is, and you can move some of the stuff with your hands too. Like I've always wanted to be able to do that. I don't want that. I want that. You're going to be able to do that. Now, this is where it gets really awesome. If you've ever had, you're kind of a gamer. Have you ever done the VR stuff?
No.
It's pretty cool. I did VR boxing for a while. That was a lot of fun. But my kids got mad at me because I would really get into it, but
accidentally punch one of them.
No, but you know what? Because you don't know where you are. They have you kind of outline where you're going to be. But one of the things about it is there's still that, even though it shakes a little bit, well, guess what? They fixed that now because now they have a vest and gloves.
Finally able to try on some haptic gloves and a vest, so very excited to see what this looks like. I can already feel little vibrations on the fingertips here. We're supposed to feel something around the wrists and each fingertip. Oh yeah, so I feel it. I click that start button and I can feel it. So when I touch this, I can really feel it in my fingertips. That's wild. So every single interaction, you're feeling in each of the fingertips that vibration, as well as multiple points all along the chest. So you have haptics on every fingertip. So 16 different levels of vibration. Works with hundreds of games already. This is a very cool feel. It's very accurate in terms of like each finger that you use. Very much in real time as well. By the timing again of those graphics, along with what I'm actually feeling in my hands, it's very cool.
And in the middle of it, they send out like a cat thing to him, and he starts petting. It's like he's got the glasses on. He's petting the cat, and you feel it immediately. And this is just the beginning of like where this stuff is going to be. And it's virtually, it's not expensive at all. Now we get to the fun thing, the thing I talked a bit about yesterday. He got to ride around on the ski jet boot things. I'll be honest, man. I look at them, Ken, and I'm thinking, I kind of want a pair. They're pretty neat.
All right, so these are like skiing. It's almost like an electric skateboard, but skis with rubberized wheels. I'm trying to focus and not look at the camera. I'm going to look down here as we keep going. I'm going to show off to this guy that I can go a little faster. You said not to go so fast. Oh, okay, I'm starting to get the hang of it. These retail for $9.99. Coolest thing I've seen day one at CES.
There was a line for those, and for people to try them on. So they're probably about almost, it's like getting in a ski, right? But it's only probably 18 inches. Mm-hmm. They've got two big rubber tires, and you got your feet in each one of them, and you've got one little thing that controls it, and you can do like skiing where you can. It is insane. Here's the thing, though. It goes 40-some miles an hour, but you also get almost 30 miles, depending on how fast you go, almost 30 miles an hour. 30 miles of charge with those. So, and I think.
Goodbye, scooters.
Yes, exactly. Goodbye, scooters. Because they have the one-wheel thing. Have you ever seen the one-wheel thing? If you're not 12, you shouldn't be on those things. But they go too fast, and it's just one wheel, and it's like a skateboard, and you can lean, and it takes off, and they go way too fast. These will replace those, scooter-wise. Because I've ice skated, I played hockey, and I'm rollerbladed my whole life. I'm less worried about that than being on a scooter.
Yeah, just, get to your parking spot downtown and take out your skis in the trunk and off you go.
Yeah, totally. And then the car, too, NVIDIA debuted the new Mercedes. That is interesting because the car's no longer a car. It's a computer that just happens to take you places.
By the way, you just reminded me, over the holidays, I was in a Publix parking lot, and I was getting ready to cross to go to the front door, and this car backs out. and it's going very, very slow. And it was waiting for me. There's no driver in it.
Oh, cool.
It was going to pick up its driver at the front of the store, and I talked to the guy. And I said, do you get this thing out on the interstate every? He said, man, I go to Atlanta for business twice a week.
Oh, that's got to be awesome.
And he says, I get in it, and I kick back and I chill. He said, now every now and then it'll shake to kind of, wake me up or whatever.
Yeah.
But, just kind of as a safety thing, just in case it needs human interaction. But he said, I'm completely comfortable in it.
Yeah. I think you do it a couple times. Because I've been in a couple. I've been in the Waymo ones, and I've been in a couple Tesla ones that are. Here's the thing. Tesla, for those of you out there, love Elon. The Chinese have kicked his butt. By the way, BYD. Somebody asked me the other day if I was going to buy a car, what I do. I said, if I was going to pay cash for a car, I go to Mexico and I get a BYD, which is their version of Tesla, which is so much better at a quarter of the price. And you can bring it back across. Their stuff is so amazing and the price is incredible. But some of these self-driving cars, I have zero fear in them.
Interesting.
It takes a minute or two, but, it's...
I can't even trust my rear camera right now,
No.
man. I don't know how I would do in one of those.
Oh, you can always tell who's a younger driver and older driver because even if you got a rear camera, you're still looking out the
You're
side.
still looking out and you're turning the stereo down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because I don't know what it smells like outside. Oh, my God. It is so. The stereo. I don't know why it's the stereo. Shh.
Shh, I got to back up.
Do you guys smell that? Shh. Turn it down. Shh. You smell that? So true. So true. But it is just, here's the other thing about cars. Everything's going to be subscription. It already is in a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
They give you that first 6 months. You remember it used to get, now that you bought this new car, you get 6 months of satellite radio for free, and then you hope that they forget about it, and if you have it for 12 years. But now it's like, if you want heated seats, that'll be extra.
Yeah. Oh, you missed your payment? Well,
yeah.
We're just going to shut it off.
Oh, man, it's all here, man. It's going to be crazy. I'm telling you what. It's just it, but it's a computer. That's what it is. It's a computer. And go look at some of these Chinese cars. I know it's China. It's China. They are incredible. They've got something that looks like a Maybach. It's like $70,000. And it's got refrigerators in it.
What's a Maybach?
Think of it like a cross between a Rolls Royce and a Mercedes.
Oh,
nice.
It's got it. Some of these things are so insane, and the price is virtually nothing compared to what we're spending, even for stuff nowadays where the average car payment is $750.
Yeah.
Good God, sir! Coming up, we're gonna wrap up the show. I believe you have to see him, but I believe our good friend Matt is here, so we'll have him straight ahead as we do. What was it? The welcome Matt? That's what we're calling it. So or Matt in studio with Chad straight ahead. Chad Benson Show. Wrapping up the show on this Hot Take Tuesday. Remember, One Hit Wonder Wednesday tomorrow and White Woman Wednesday, where white women tell us how progressively cool they are and how horrible and racist us men are. As you know.
Sexist, too.
Oh, yeah, misogyny. Can't stop the misogyny, my friends.
Yeah, stop the patriarchy.
Oh,
whatever that is.
Whatever, yeah. I haven't had that in a while. I'll tell you what. What's happening, man?
You have a distinct lack of hair.
I do.
What did somebody call you? I was driving down to Mount Pleasant. An egg?
That's
my
mean.
daughter.
My daughter.
That's mean.
She's 7.
That's very mean.
She goes, Dad, your beard's gone. Now you look like an egg.
I said he looked like he had gone Colonel Sanders on us.
I think we get him some glasses and a really, really small hat, and he's Mr. Potato Head.
Or I'm going to wear one of those outfits that look like I'm from the 1930s, one of those bathing outfits, and I can start to do the curls. Hello, everyone. Look at me. Do curls and get fit. Let's have a smoke and do some squats.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good, yeah. Nice little bathing outfit. Very discreet.
Yes, very discreet.
Yeah, you can't show the nips.
No. Oh, God, are you kidding me?
No.
The pectoral area? Never.
Now, you ever see those pictures where the guys go on the beach with a ruler and they measure from the knee?
They used to give tickets out.
Oh, 100% they did.
Yeah, you show an ankle. We always worry about the Sharia law. They had it long before everybody else did.
Yeah, they would measure. At some point they were measuring from the knee, and it could only be like 3 inches above the knee or something like that. And if it was over 3 inches, you get a ticket.
So insane.
That's pretty crazy.
So insane. What's going on, brother?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening in the world. I heard you guys briefly. I'm going to talk about this today too because I'm curious what There's a balance between supporting law enforcement and identifying things that are wrong. And this DUI thing, I saw the story yesterday, last night. I did a little dive on it today. I heard you talking about it today, and we need to do something about that.
It absolutely, yeah. It is. We had a law enforcement who were saying, "Look, it's one of those things where you've heard the. Well, I don't know if it was who it was that was saying you have to go do this, we have to get this, but they say they don't tell you, but they tell you do this, do that, or else kind of thing, and how some of them were saying, look, man, I would get my shift changed to times I didn't like if stuff didn't go the way they want when it came to tickets, and they wouldn't tell us, but then the city council would start complaining, and it was there's a real issue.
So it's an unspoken quota kind of thing?
Yeah, kind of thing.
Yeah, and unspoken quotas should go the way of the dodo.
Or still quotas.
Well, it's still quotas,
yeah.
Right? If it's unspoken, it's still a quota. And I don't know what you can do, and I'm very curious if law enforcement have any ideas, what you can do to make people whole. Because like you said, I heard you guys talking about it. These folks sure, they're exonerated, and maybe even their court costs are paid back or whatever, but in some cases, they lose their jobs.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't have an ability to go to work because you don't have a car, because of the impounded your car.
Or maybe you drive for a living.
Maybe you drive for a living. Perhaps your employer finds out that you were arrested for a DUI and then convicted for a DUI before the blood test even comes back.
Which is another thing that's insane.
Which is insane.
Absolutely insane that you have to go through the whole court process without knowing yeah, I know we convicted you. We put you. I don't know why court would even allow you to come here, knowing that there's going to be a blood test coming.
Well, I understand. There has been a knee-jerk reaction to. Well, it's not even a knee-jerk reaction. I think there's over the years we have allowed the pendulum to swing too far on the side of arrest them and we'll figure it out later because we need to get drunk drivers off the roads.
Which everybody agrees.
Everybody agrees we need to get drunk drivers off the roads. But that pendulum maybe has swung a little bit too far in the direction of innocent people are going to jail.
Well,
and
everybody potentially is a drunk driver.
Well, but just because I have feelings.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe my breathalyzer isn't working properly or the blood test isn't going to come back for months, but I got feelings.
Yeah. What's fun? We had 2 or 3 cops who said, look, when I was working, and one of them says working now, that they don't bring their breathalyzers with them sometime or say they don't work so they can get you in there.
That's no good, man.
That is no good.
That's no good.
No. We it's a hard job and it's frustrating at the same time. We have rights, and if you're going to go out and you're going to end up having to take out loans and credit cards and deplete your savings and whatnot to pay for a lawyer, that it's not the lawyer's fault that he's got to go defend you. Everybody's like, well, the lawyer should give the money back. It's not their fault. They're doing work for something that shouldn't be happening.
No, they're defending someone who needs to be defended because that person has been unjustly accused of being, driving under the influence. Yeah. No, it's no good. So
no, it's no good.
We'll discuss that. We'll give the latest on Venezuela. Obviously, that's an ongoing saga. The Columbia water system, I feel like we've exhausted that subject yesterday, but we'll continue to cover that because that's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
Week.
Taxation without representation.
That's
Somebody,
bad news.
Let's have a revolution.
Yeah, we should.
Just in certain areas.
We should have a flag.
Everybody needs a flag.
Don't tread on me.
Do not tread tire-wise on me. Coming up next, Matt, straight ahead. You guys have a good one.